Hello, Namco Museum fans, and welcome to episode 7. Again, I'll be talking about my new ideas involving new arrangement games. But before I can talk about it, let's talk about Galaga 88 first. For those of you who do not know, Galaga 88 is a shooter arcade game that's released in late 1987. It serves as a Japanese remake of Galaga. The challenging stages are similar, but with a twist. The challenging stages are called Galactic Dancing. In this challenging stage, the music will start playing, and the enemies are moving in a dancing pattern. And I like that. Like I said last week, this game has 4 endings, and it serves as Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. Different endings will happen. It depends on which dimension you're in. To get a different ending, either Part 2, Part 3, or Part 4, you had to collect 2 warp capsules. And after the challenging stages, you do a dimension warp, and you're in the next dimension onto the next world. The final world will be a scroll stage. And in the final stage, there will be a boss fight. However, there will be a different boss depending on which dimension you're in. And here's the map of what it looks like. Like I said before, there can only be one ending, and I have better ideas for the new arrangement game. The idea I came up with is Galaga 88 Arrangement Arcade version. In this arrangement game, there's no need to warp to another dimension by collecting 2 capsules, because it will not be included in that game, because there can only be one ending. I decided to make Galaga 88 Arrangement Arcade version special. How did I make it special, you might ask? My ideas involving Galaga 88 Arrangement Arcade version is that it's a battle through the multiverse, which means the worlds will be cameo worlds like you see from the original Namco arcade games. 2 players can play at the same time. There are power-ups in the game when you defeat enemies, and the capsules serve as power-ups. Power-ups like wide shot, super shots, and spread shots. Old enemies will return in this game. Also, new enemies will be added. I created a chart that's for Bandai Namco in case they ever made this game. They were set in order, and they'll be seen in each world. And here's the boss sheet I came up with. They'll appear in each world. There are 41 stages throughout 8 worlds. For stages 1 through 4, the world is the command center, which is your base, which takes place in the main dimension. For stages 5 through 8, the world will be a floating continent that you saw from the arcade game Assault, which you control as a tank with 2 joysticks. For stages 9 through 12, the world is a space flower field like you saw from Galaga Arrangement Arcade version, and there will be a battle in the background. For stages 13 through 16, the world is the Bosconian space stations that came from Bosconian and Blast Off. For stages 17 through 20, the world is an armored battle station called the Iceberg, which came from the free rail shooter arcade game Starblade. For stages 21 through 24, the world is a dark planet and a battlefield that came from an NES game Starluster. For stages 25 through 28, the world is the planet Galaga 88, which is the main dimension. For stages 29 through 41, it takes place on the Galaga 88 surface, and it will be a scroll stage, like from the original Galaga 88, and there will be 4 boss fights in that world. Here's some ideas that I want Bandai Namco to make that's involved the challenging stages. There will be galactic dancings, however the songs will be much longer. In this challenging stage, you don't have to destroy all the enemies, you have to destroy more than 40 before the song ends. If you destroy more than 40, you get a special bonus. The backgrounds will be moving like they did in Galaga Arrangement Arcade version. And the enemies that came from the other arcade games, depending on which world you're in, will appear in the challenging stages. Here are some songs I want Bandai Namco to add that are classical music, which was composed by a guy who did arcade game music in the past with Namco, assuming if he wants to be hired. Here's the list. For World 1 in Stage 4, the song will be Turkey and the Straw, and the enemies will be from Galaga 88, because it takes place in the main dimension. For World 2 in Stage 8, the song will be the Nutcracker Suite Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, and the enemies will be from the arcade game Assault. For World 3 in Stage 12, the song will be the Nutcracker Suite Dance of the Reed Fruits, and the enemies will be from Galaga Arrangement Arcade version. For World 4 in Stage 16, the song will be the Nutcracker Suite Russian Dance, and the enemies will be from Bosconian and Blast Off. For World 5 in Stage 20, The song will be the Nutcracker Suite Arabian Dance, and the enemies will be from the 3D rail shooter game Starblade. For World 6 and Stage 24, the song will be Fortuna Trix Mundi. Here's the word in case if I didn't say it right. And the enemies will be from the NES game Starluster. And for World 7 and Stage 28, the song will be the reprised version of Galactic Dancing Big Band Jazz that came from Galaga 88. And the enemies are from Galaga 88. And the ending I'll be talking about involves a fighter returning home to the command center. And for the first time, you'll see the pilot. And the pilot is female, like you saw from the ending in Galaga 88. This game will have continues. That's concluded for Galaga 88 Arrangement Arcade version. I wish Bandai Namco made this game. Can you fans help me? In the next video, I'll be talking about my new ideas involving the CS versions of the arrangements. It's in one part, and it might be short. What are they, you might ask? Let's find out next week.